up, everybody? I'm Sal Klein. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin. I just came from down south. Spitballin, y'all.
Yeah, Reggie, it's been like 2 weeks, and now Reggie, look at you, got a goatee and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I'm going for my my French. For me at least, this feels very French. The
We gotta get
stash
you
with no connection with the little Fu Manchu, and then my goatee. I feel very bonjour, bienvenue, welcome, hello, and welcome.
You see our new
Bonjour.
the new trailer
Bonjour.
I put together, and the Bourdain in Paris episode dropped, and yeah, I thought it would look pretty good. It was pretty funny. I was rewatching it while I was editing it, and yeah, it was good stuff we did there, buddy. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean the Bourdain episodes are kind of all you. It's all you eating stuff.
Well, you commenting. It's you know, people like it, man. People mention, hey, we like this stuff, you know.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah,
people love I think from the very beginning, people have always enjoyed your food escapades.
One of the
Yeah.
Harrison sisters wrote on one of the French things, doesn't seem very poor to me. And I was like, yo, man, this is 3-course meal, 17 euros. That's a hell of a deal.
That's funny. This Bourdain episode, that look like it costs at least $15. That like it costs $7. Yo, real quick, before we go on, I want to give a quick shout out to my man Matt Morales, who's a graphic designer and artist who made this. And
Oh, yeah, I have that. The Black Panther.
yeah, so wait, hold on, what number you got? Because
I don't know, mine's already framed. I don't even know. I already got mine in a purple frame. I got mine years ago, though, dude. I think I beat you to the punch.
no, I got mine years ago too.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Hold up, I got mine years ago when it first came out. When we first made it, and I was like, yo, I got to get one of those.
That's when I got it.
So we got it at the same time. But I think looking at mine, it says in the bottom, because he numbered them, he only made 6.
What you talking about, Willis?
Hey man, he only made 6.
You only made 6, and you and I have 2 of them?
Yeah, it has Matt Morales.
What number is yours?
It's a first print. Number something of 6. What's your number?
What number of 6? It's definitely high. You know I got you beat, dog.
Wait, what's your number?
So we were in a band
Sal,
together.
what's your number?
I don't know. It's in a frame. I have to
Go look at it. You go look at it.
I got to take it out of the frame to have this.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
get
right.
out of here, bro.
Okay, well,
I'll just hang it up
okay.
against the wall, leaning it on a folded paper like that. Look at all
I've
curved
had
and
mine.
shit.
I've had mine stored.
Yeah,
Mine was stored, so I'm
It means unopened, like everything.
Well, I wasn't ready yet, but I'm gonna get a frame for it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yours is how,
yours is higher than mine.
I don't know. This is how.
No. I'm telling you, yours is higher than mine
Yours is
because
6.
I have 6 of 6. But shout out to Matt Morales.
Shout out to little Troy J. Look at him sleeping up against my butt last night, this morning.
Oh wow,
He really gets in there,
dude. I just realized your cat sleeps in your bed, so you got cat hair on your
all over the
on
place,
your blankets and sheets.
covered in it. Well, they got a thing you just clean it off. It's not bad. But usually what I do is I have to put a blanket over that blanket though. Because you're right.
Oh, okay.
One time I was out, I came back and I was like, the hell?
You know, I'm allergic. Well, you know this. I'm allergic to
Oh yeah,
cats.
dude. Reggie and I, we went to go see the President Obama be inaugurated, and Reggie was allergic as hell. We
2008.
stayed at a cat home, and you got to sleep in the bedroom, and I had to sleep outside or out in the living room, getting bombarded by fucking cats.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well,
They were jumping on me and shit. I was like, what's happening?
I had to sleep in the one room that the cats were not allowed in because in the rest of the house, I was literally feeling like I was dying. Like I'm telling you right now, I had never felt like that before. That was the first time. I mean, I've been around cats before, but the problem was did they have 3 or 4
There was
cats?
at least 2. I know that.
I think they had 3. The
Yeah.
cat dander was through the roof. I go in there and it's like my throat was closing up. I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? I thought I was dying, bro. I was like,
You're
something's
like,
not
I'm not
right.
gonna get to see the first black president inaugurated.
Dude, it was crazy. And then I was like, yo, it's the cats. They're like, well, we have this one room where the cats aren't allowed. And so I went in that room, and I
Oh,
mean, it was like night and day. Like it was legitimately
wow.
in the front room where the cats were. I couldn't breathe. I go in the other room and close the door. It was as if like it was just fresh air. My everything opened right up. So
Wow.
yeah, man. So
Um,
that yeah, you sleeping with cats, I'm like, that's
well,
that
just
would
the
kill
one
me.
fella. I got so again, we have a guest. Before coming on, I wanted to bring this up real quick because we haven't been here in 2 weeks. We didn't get to talk about it. Um, did you see the new Kanye video?
Oh boy. No. Is it a music video or is it just him
Yeah, Brad, you gotta have your
talking?
finger on the pulse. So the song is entitled Hail Hitler.
Hail, Heil.
Heil Hitler. And the chorus, you know what the chorus is?
No.
The chorus is the N-word and then Heil Hitler. So the one genius thing about it, it's like two very offensive things that either if you're black or white, you would feel uncomfortable singing that.
Yeah. Or Jewish.
Or do anything. And but then the video. So this is what's crazy. So you see, I got this haircut. This dude trying to give me a fade. I'm a white. You don't give a white dude a fade. I don't know why I
Why
did it.
not? Kelsey, what's his name? Travis Kelsey has a fade. They act like Travis Kelsey was the first dude to ever have a fade. It's like,
Well,
yo, black dude's been having fades for years. It's the
yeah,
same thing. Jennifer Lopez has an ass. They go, all of a sudden, the ass is like, yo, uh, what's her name from Good Times? Thelma from Good Times been having ass for years,
can
but
have
they
an
don't
ass.
notice that, right? All of a sudden, Jennifer Lopez got the best ass ever. Fuck out of here. Travis
All
Kelsey got
right.
the best fade ever. Get out of here. All right. Yo, it's crazy to
So,
me.
what the hell was I talking about?
You talking about your fade
Oh, yeah.
and
So this guy. So the thing is, he rented this. He bought or rented this warehouse, and he this is where he recorded it. And it was a bunch of yoked black dudes singing this chorus in like animal skins and shit. Right. The crazy thing is, and there's a lot of articles about this. This song is like kind of catchy and good, which is so fucked up that how he did this. But you can only see it on Twitter, right? Because everything else it won't play it. Uh, but he recorded it across the street from where I got the haircut.
oh
And I'm
wow.
and I'm talking to the guy because I knew, and I was like, "Yo, did y'all cut Kanye up a couple weeks ago?" And he
That's
said,
funny.
"No," but he said there was guys there to audition. He's like, "Yeah, I was wondering, all these guys were there to audition, and they were shaving their head till completely clean." I was like, "Were the big yoke black dudes?" He's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "And they were all auditioning for this thing, and they had this paperwork, and it said you had to be okay wearing swastikas." What is happening, Reg?
Man, it's there's a level of disrespect and a lack of
Everywhere.
it's a lack of it is it's disrespectful, it's ignorant, and it's completely um inconsiderate to the people who've had, family and ancestors who died in the Holocaust, right? At the
Oh,
hands of
terrible.
a maniac, right?
Yeah.
Of an evil man, and you're gonna wear a symbol that represents that level of hate and
And even
destruction and
sing about
disaster.
that. Mm.
Energetically, bro, it's all bad. I can't. I'm done with Kanye, dude.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's off the deep end.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go. We got Charlene is here, Modeste. She has got a show coming up on the Fringe Festival. We had her on a guest before. She reached out, was like, "Hey, let me get back on here." And it's pretty cool. She's gonna have a show at Fringe. And there she is in the flesh, everybody. Charlene, what's going on? How's it going?
Yay,
Good to see you.
Charlene, welcome back. Welcome
Just put
back.
my headset.
Okay, okay,
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
she gotta get her
hear
head. You look at all.
okay.
Oh,
Welcome back, Charlene.
you.
Yes,
Thanks for having me, guys.
of course.
absolutely. I want to say this before we say anything else. Congratulations
Well,
on winning the scholarship.
oh wow, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Because I want to get into that and figure out exactly what all the details were, but off the top, congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, thank you, thank you. It's been quite a surprise, and I got it's like I got a tiger by the tail trying to keep up with everything that's going on,
That's all good. That's all good. It's much better than the alternative, I imagine, right?
which is
Not having anything going on, right?
I know
Right?
that feeling.
very
Yeah.
true, very
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, here, let me share this. I'll share the screen. So her show coming out is called She's About to Pop. And I like that it's an immaculate misconception. That's pretty funny.
That's an awesome name, by the way.
Thank
How'd you come how'd you come up with that? Like where did that's awesome.
Well, I've been working on this. I've been wanting to do this show for a very long time, but it's so close to me. Um,
Mm.
I've had to put it down. Like I started like during the pandemic when no one had anything to do. I started like toying around with it then, like and then it just got things were just too uncertain. So I just put it away, ran from my script. But I had friends around
Mhm.
that always knew like, talk and She's About to Pop was always like the title like that because I that's what I look like. That's what people tell me in public. Well, the grocery store.
Oh wow.
It's like you're about to pop, they've got to
Yeah.
get really loud and animated. Um
Is that like almost every day?
every day, every
Oh
time I
wow.
walk in
Jesus, dude.
anytime I'm anywhere, and it's always like something random. Like I'm in my skin, so I'm used to this,
Right.
but everyone approaching me when I'm out in the world, it they don't know. So
Right.
they're just so happy and joyful
Do
and
you
want to
ignore
wish
it
me
most of the
well.
time? Do you not do you debunk the myth, or what do you do?
I try to sidestep it because like once they know, like they're
Jeez.
so embarrassed
Mm.
and they're crestfallen. They think I'm gonna die. Like just any number of reactions. Do you hate me? Just anything. I mean,
Oh
it
wow.
depends on how far they went,
Yeah.
like some people like ask me if I'm having quads, so like that person when I say I'm not pregnant.
Wow. That is see, this is a lesson, right? A lesson in consideration and
Mind your
privacy,
own business.
right? Yeah, mind you, just notice, right? Or see or whatever, and just keep it moving, right? Like,
I can't really be upset. Like they're not trying to hurt me. They really just want to say, they want to say something positive.
right.
They're being lovely, but sometimes it's just a little bit too much.
I think
They want to celebrate you. Okay,
Yeah.
so this
I'd
is
be like
gonna
fucking with people, dude. Be like, oh yeah, dude, it's not looking good. Thanks for bringing that up. And get them all feel bad for me and
Some
shit. Like,
sometimes
why
I
don't you
can
buy me some
sidestep.
ice cream?
so
Sometimes I can sidestep it. I usually try to sidestep it just to avoid the awkwardness, but
mm,
sometimes people are really persistent and they really want me to know how much they feel and how
mm,
much they want to wish me well, and then I've got to break the news to them, and then it
Jeez.
it just it takes
yeah.
a turn.
You're like, this isn't a pregnancy, this is a medical condition. And they're like, oh, I'm so
You
sorry.
should
Oh my
just,
God.
you know what you should do? You should just record people's reaction to you saying that every time. And then you would just have a whole compilation of people, sorry. Oh no. You just,
In the show. It's in the show.
shut up, really?
It made that like I didn't record them, but there's me reenacting them.
Wow.
Whoa, that's awesome. Okay,
Um,
so I'm curious about, not curious because there's no way for us to know, but what is it gonna be when you're like 70, right? Can you imagine it being like 70 or 75 and you still look the same way and
It's a
people are
oh
like,
gosh,
miracle.
no, I have no intention of looking this way when I'm 70. Like
oh,
I as far as I know, in my
okay,
experience, like I don't want to give away the end, but I'm still living it, so I don't know what the end is.
right.
But I've made so much progress. Like I went up to Northern California. I went on a quest.
Okay.
Like I sought out the magical healing elixir of cannabis oil to see if it would work. And
Mhm.
it was working. Like I was there. Like I had unfettered access. Like I was cannabis farms, cannabis operations. Like I had access. Like I was juicing the plant. I was putting it in the smoothies. I was making the oil. I was ingesting cannabinoids. And that has a very healing effect on the body,
Mm.
and my tumors were going in reverse. They were getting
Wow.
smaller. Like that time spent, that life lived is unforgettable. It's just that I'm not there anymore. There was a wildfire, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
I cleaned everything. Lost everything, went up in smoke.
Mm.
Um, I'm giving away the story of my
Oh,
but this is my
dang.
life
So
anyway.
his story covers all that time as well.
Well, it's mostly that. Like I'm just like she's about to pop is like that's what people strangers address me that way. And since I hear it so much, like that I was like, okay, well, I'm living a sitcom. I'm the only one in on the joke. Why this is definitely like if it's not a piece of theater, it's something like more people need to be in on this. And also like fibroids, which is what the condition is,
Mhm.
80% of women are affected by this by the age of 50. So if you think about that,
Oh,
that's
wow.
if there's 8 billion people in the world and 4 billion have a uterus, that's 3.2 billion uteruses earmarked for fibroids. Now, if cannabis can help that condition and no one's really thinking about that, then I feel like it's my responsibility to get that nugget of information out there. And maybe we won't be this ridiculous with the laws over a plant that is non-toxic, there's no recorded death for any kind of an overdose. You overdose on cannabis, you won't wake up dead. You will wake you go to sleep.
You wake up rested, right?
You wake up hungry.
Okay.
But it's not toxic, it's not fatal. Like there may be some discomfort, but it's never death. Um, pardon. So for something that is that safe, why aren't we testing this? Why are why is it still federally illegal? Why is it Schedule 1? Why Schedule 1 means like there's no accepted medical use. Yet there are all
Right.
these people making all of these claims about not only my condition, but other conditions as well. Like, I mean, children with grand mal seizures, fibromyalgia, dementia, like it crosses the blood-brain barrier.
And
So
often
like
have moved to
plaque that
after tossing a bag of edible.
what's that?
Yeah, what happened?
Sorry, that was my. You're fine. Keep going. I
Yeah.
was fucking up. I was trying to set something up because what you're making a very good point. And if you saw just yesterday, the lieutenant governor of Texas, they put out this whole thing against THC and edibles, like I guess. And it's ridiculous. It sounds like this is like scare tactics from the 80s. I'm like, really?
It's there's no excuse for it. Like there's so much knowledge, evidence, like America is not the center of the universe. Like there are other countries that are conducting studies, like Spain in particular. They're doing their studies in petri dishes. It's nothing on people, but like there's enough they were at the point where we can start testing this on people. It is effective. It is anti-tumoral. How many
Right.
people are suffering with cancer and tumors and all of that other stuff? It only targets the mutated cells, whereas chemotherapy will
Wipe out everything, positive and
everything.
negative, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
THC and the posse of the other cannabinoids, of which like there are over 100, like together, they will target just the mutated cells. Those cells, it's a process called apoptosis. So it's like cell death. So they like, oh, I've overstayed my welcome. Let me get out of here. So like they die and they leave the body as waste. And it's only the mutated cells. All of your healthy cells are left to thrive.
Wow.
That's proven. That's science. That's not wishful thinking. That's not magic. It feels like magic because like it's like, holy shit, like all of these years I've been trying all of these things. I tried surgery, they grew back. I tried every kind of diet. It didn't, I mean, it helped me with my complexion,
Yeah.
Nice.
but it didn't do anything for my tumors. So all of a sudden to like know this and then have it be this limited and you have clowns saying things like, it's damaging. It's not. It's
Yeah.
so not. Like, and it's like this big gaslight that's been going on for
Here's one of
years.
those clowns now.
Would you buy anything off the shelf that you didn't know what was in it? That could change your whole mental state for the rest of your life? Would you want that?
Rest of your
Anybody got
life?
this bag? Okay. You want it? I don't think you want it.
Well, the lieutenant governor says many of the edibles could be confused as candy by children. He
It's all fear
outflavor
tactics,
gummy candy
man.
and brightly
It's all fair tactics. It's so beyond ridiculous. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
Why do you think they refuse to acknowledge the medical benefits of it? I mean, because I've heard, of THC and CBD oil and things of that nature that people have said, it rubs in, it helps with muscle relaxing and whatever. Um, and so that's been acknowledged. Like you have this knowledge of its benefits, but why do you think it hasn't been acknowledged on a larger scale to benefit more people? And be an alternative. It could, I mean, is if see now I just said the word alternative, pharmaceuticals, big pharma, big money, you know what I mean? Is it gonna cut in on
Yes.
their profit margin and things of that nature?
Yeah. That's I mean, I don't know what other reason it could possibly be because it's causing harm throughout the globe. Like we were cannabis is one of the first plants that humans ever cultivated. So like way back in Neolithic times when we were coming out of the old Stone Age and into the new Stone Age,
Yeah.
like the first plant, like as we were like stop being hunter gatherers and we transitioning into like farmers, cannabis was one of those plants. It's sturdy. We make clothes. You could eat the seeds. It's medicinal. Like all of those things. And now, like 12,000 years later, after all of that benefit, after all of us, humankind as a whole, as a collective, we've always been cultivating cannabis. Like every single culture has cannabis in it.
Uh,
Um, and somehow bozos about 100 years ago decided that, oh, well, look at this thing that everyone is benefiting from. Let's make that illegal.
oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was like
Yes.
it's cheap too, which is a big
It
problem for
it
them.
grows.
You're making all this money off pills, and you can get marijuana way cheaper.
You could
uh,
grow it on your balcony in your backyard. It'll just grow. Like you don't have to grow pretty buds for sale. Like you could just grow the plant and it could look whatever it looks like and it'll still have the health benefits, but like they make it so hard. Like yeah, we live in California, but if I tried to grow like even like whatever I'm allowed, like 6 plants, why is there a limitation? But that would cause problems for me with my neighbors. That would cause problems for me with my landlord. Yes, it's legal, but then there's all of this stigma attached and all of this brouhaha and like false information. Like it's so dangerous. It's only psychoactive when you heat it up.
mm,
You have to heat it up.
okay.
And as far as like the guy that's saying, would you buy this off the shelf? Like, I won't buy anything from them now because I don't know what they're putting into it. But if I
Right.
could just grow my plants, it's perfectly safe.
Right.
I'm skeptical of what they're selling now because look at what they've done to tobacco.
Right. Right. It's always some additives, right? Things to make it more addictive.
Yeah,
Um,
and you can't keep the prison complex going if you can't throw people in jail for cannabis possession.
Right.
Man, it's all right. See, you just touched on a whole thing because I'm like, I'm I'm macro in a lot of ways. Like, I look at the big picture of things and you see how everything's intertwined, right? In order to keep you, like you just said, the prison complex open and going and thriving, right? Making money off of disparaging people's lives or ruining people, then they need to keep these things in place to keep feeding that. It's greed and it's capitalism. Uh, and it's
It's
it's just
so unnecessary because like first of all, pharmaceuticals are the alternative medicine. Plants are the original.
mhm.
Pharmaceuticals are the alternative.
And all the medicine is derived from plants.
Thank you.
Some frogs, some frogs.
I'm just saying, but you see that, so like they've got us all in this like headspace where we don't know which way's up anymore. Like we're living in the upside down. Like
Right.
true, it's true, but it's not true. The truth isn't true. Only if this person says it standing on one leg when it's raining, then it's true. But everything else, that same thing isn't true anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, man, okay.
I mean,
So
you
I
know,
just
like that's why they originally supposedly like George Hersh was one of the ones behind the original banning of marijuana back in the 30s because hemp was like an alternative to paper and he owned all the paper newspaper companies and timber, so it was like competition.
Competition for paper and
Yeah.
cotton.
Isn't that crazy?
wow, that's crazy. Okay, so real quick, I don't want before we go too far, because just for people who may not have seen your first episode,
Yeah.
real quick, let's just tell
Which
everybody
was a
what.
popular episode, by the way.
Thank
Yes,
you kindly. Thank you. Thank you.
yes.
Thank you, Spitballin crowd. Thank you for the
Thank you.
love.
Thank you. Oh,
Our
good.
fellow
So, real quick,
footballers.
let's just tell everyone, for the people who are tuning in maybe for the first time, what it is you have and what the condition is and what does it cause, and so they'll be up to date about exactly what's happening.
Okay. All right. Just straight off the top of my head. Hello, everyone. My name is Charlene Modeste, and I have a condition that's it's ridiculously common. Like I said, 80% of women are affected by this by the age of 50. It's called uterine fibroids, and no one can say why they develop, what triggers their development, but basically healthy cells get triggered and they mutate and they don't die, they become immortal somehow.
Mm.
And so instead of eventually dying like the life death cycle and they leave the body as waste, these cells continue to live on, they proliferate, they form masses that become tumors.
Mm.
And they wreak havoc in the body. They cause very painful, abnormal menstrual cycles. It just throws your body out of whack. There are all kinds of, you look normal, no one can tell that you're going through these things because you look normal or just fine. But meanwhile, there's all kinds of internal discomforts that happen every single month on a monthly basis, like clockwork. You just got to go through it, and then
How
there's
long
this
have you been
time
dealing with this?
for as long as I've been feminine.
Wow.
It's
I
like
was gonna say
you
so.
hit puberty, like the
Oh
cycle
wow.
starts happening. It wasn't like intense in the beginning, but by the time we got to high school,
Wow.
like it was pretty intense, and like everyone else around me, like no one else is. I'm thinking I'm like something's wrong with me, or maybe I just can't handle pain.
Hmm.
But then you go to the doctor, and they say, oh well, actually, what it is like you have fibroids. They're benign tumors, they're very common, but let's watch and wait, we'll see. And then they just grow, and then they grow to a point where, like, well, if you want to preserve your fertility, we would need to perform surgery. That's how it went. So I got the surgery, and then about 5 or 6 years later, they returned. We were rescheduling a second myomectomy. Um, And then I lost my job, the health insurance that came with it. And, the laws were different back then. So, like, oh, you don't have health insurance. Well, we can diagnose you, but we're certainly not going to give you a surgery for free. You
Oh,
got to pay up for that.
right.
And then it was like another 5 years where I just watched myself expand, like just watched everything just get bigger and bigger and expand. And then, like 5 years later, Affordable Care Acts happened. Then I was able to go into get health care again. And
Shout
then
out to Barack Obama.
yeah, well, yeah. And so, but even that was unsatisfactory because like there's like, well, you waited too long, you're too large for this surgery. The only thing we can offer you now is a hysterectomy, which is when they take all the
Everything.
and
Oh,
it's like what are you talking about, again, I'm giving away my show, but this is what it is, and it's like the uterus does more than incubate the unborn.
mhm.
So they're talking about, oh well, if you don't have a uterus, you won't have tumors anymore. So problem solved. And I'm like, are you nuts? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I
Yeah,
need that. That is my organ that I need that does things for me, that will continue to do things for me throughout my entire life. I need that. Like, you don't just get to like remove it so your job is done and then leave me with all the consequences. No
right.
thanks.
Right.
So that sent me on, like, I don't know, I was just really curious to find, like, I was like, well, that's what they're saying, like, no one knows everything. There's got to be something else out there. Like, let's see what's out there. And then I stumbled across some information. I came across those studies from the doctors in Spain. Um, and they were not even working on the uterus. They were talking more about breast cancer, but it's still tumors. So it's like,
Right.
well, tumors. Like, if that's what's happening, like, let's apply that. And it's the essential oil, the extraction. So you extract the essential oil from the plant, and you get this thing that looks like molasses, like all of like the crystally sticky icky buds,
Mhm.
the sticky icky stuff. You extract that. That is very medicinal.
Are you still making your own?
When I can, I don't have access like I did before, which is why I'm so, like, I'm just in this horrible place of just knowing what could be done, but not having the access or the resources to do what needs to be done. So, like, this is kind of like a plea. Like, I live in California, Hollywood in particular. This is the land of dreams. Make my dream come true. There's some people out there that have everything that I need that could help, like, whether
Mhm.
it's supplying the meds or, even like provide, like, I'm a patient. I'm healing. I happen to be able-bodied, but it doesn't mean like I'm not affected. And you
Right.
don't ask people who are healing to get up and go to work and like keep up this ridiculous pace that is like not sustainable for anybody in the best of circumstances. So I need help with that. Like, I need to rest. I need to be still. I need people to cook my meals while my body heals itself. Like, we're supposed to be in America. We're supposed to be a wealthy country. We're supposed to have, like, I'm not asking for one person to do it. I'm just saying there's a community effort that could happen, that could
Right.
make this happen. And if it happens for me, it can happen for a lot of other people who are going through this and don't think they have options available to them, where I think they do.
Let me ask you this. Have you thought about maybe like some type of GoFundMe or GoFund or some other platform? Because Sal and I just talked about this a couple weeks ago, but there's a white woman in Minnesota who goes on a racist rant against a 5-year-old kid and raises 700 and some odd thousand dollars, right, to support her racism. I mean, it seems like would you?
That's
Yeah, if you could turn racism into your situation here, you could really raise some money.
I mean, I would love to give it a go, but like those people don't seem they seem to want to support racism. Like they
Right.
Yeah, no.
the funds, the racists seem to have like a corner on the on the they
Well, the
have access to
Republicans are
funds,
rich. They're usually
Yeah,
the rich ones.
that's funny. Yeah, they
so
definitely like to support their own, right?
yeah, so I'm
Keep the
just
Um,
status
saying.
quo.
And I don't know, like, a GoFund. I mean, like, what is the GoFund? Like, I don't know, like, I need like institutional help. Like, I want a team of doctors, like, monitor me, give me the test, run the
mm,
MRIs, see what's happening as it's happening.
mm.
Those kinds of things. So, like, I don't know that a GoFundMe is going to cut it. I mean, it
Be
could,
the
but
I
solution,
mean,
right?
just
Be a
I was gonna say maybe
temporary.
not. Well, yeah, I was gonna say maybe not an end all to be all like a final solution, but maybe if there is enough money to if you get enough to start the process or even make appointments or seeing someone like
well.
I'm all optimistic and I'm like we can figure it out, you
We
know.
can figure it out, and I am very optimistic, which is why the show has come about. Like, in
So,
addition to like education and just getting the word out and raising awareness, like, let people stew on it, and we can talk. The solutions are out there.
Right.
so
But if people don't know that I'm here, then there this is just everyone's opportunity to come forward if they wish.
and you
So
learn. I mean, this is you'll learn a lot every weekend in June. You're doing this, the Fringe. Uh, Let me ask you that. So, you were working on it forever. It seems like you've had a lot of this. What is it? So it's basically like a one woman show for an hour and a half. Am I guessing like that?
It's a one-woman show, and like even though I've been working on it forever, like don't think like it's not been steady work. Like I like a few months ago, I was like, "Don't you want to do a show? Like, isn't there something you've been sitting on for years?" And then I was
Right.
like, "All right, we're like 6 months out. I think I can put a show together in 6 months." And when I tell you, like now that it's a week away and I'm still feeling not 100% like it come
Oh,
on through. It's like it always happens, right? But like right
Yeah.
up before it goes, it's like, well,
no, you go with what you got. You'll be fine. I promise you. Have you been running it though? You've been running. How long is it? Is it an hour and a half or
it's
how long?
no. It's
Less than an hour.
I'm aiming for an hour or
Okay.
less. And then immediately after there'll be a talk back because like, sometimes people have questions like this is a
Absolutely.
lot to drop on people.
Yeah.
They're considering themselves, their family members, like people have questions. I will answer to the best of my capability, knowing that I'm not a doctor or a licensed professional in any way, but I
Yeah.
do have information from doctors and other
Mhm.
licensed professionals that I am relaying to the crowd.
And you have life experience and you have direct results from things that you've done yourself, right?
Yes.
So have you been running the hour? Have you been running the hour anywhere? Like,
I've been close. I have a director. We get together like a couple times a week and it's just been like I said, I have a tiger by the tail and we've been figuring out, okay, it's like a jigsaw. We want to put
right.
this here, that there. So, you know, we're getting there. After I get off with you, I gotta go to my tech rehearsal and then I'll have some time to run. After that, I'll have some time to run.
Okay.
And then I have another tech rehearsal on Tuesday to finalize things. And
Wow.
then
Okay.
and then on
Okay,
Friday
so
we're up and running.
all right. So
Hey,
and
let
it's
me
just
ask you
coming.
about getting the scholarship. Did you like did you just submit it in written form, like, or how do you pitch that?
Yeah, well, oh gosh, the Fringe Festival, like they're so wonderful. They really are. This is my first time participating in the Fringe,
Wow, and you
and
won. That's awesome.
yeah, it's really wild. Like I was not expecting this, but I got on their email newsletter list, and like one of the emails says, "Oh, well, we have scholarships available. We have like 15 scholarships available. Submit your show, your project, your idea. Like it doesn't have to be complete, but like let us know what it is." And I was like, "Oh well, funny you should ask." Like
I got
I've
something,
I've been
right?
waiting for this.
yeah, and so
Um,
I submitted the application, let them know what my show is about. Uh, and lo and behold, much to my surprise and delight, because I wasn't expecting it. Like
That's so cool.
there's like 400 or something ridiculous amount of shows in the Fringe every year,
oh
and they
wow.
chose 15. Like it was a long shot, but I'm so glad it
Yeah,
was
I am
approved.
too. I mean, you have an amazing story because you have a condition that not people know a lot about, at least, from where I'm standing, right?
Well, yeah, guys
Um,
won't really know. I mean, most people won't know, and people just when you see someone with my physical form,
mhm.
the go-to is expectant mom. Like no
Right,
one's thinking that it's anything else. And
right.
that's
Very unique, your story. Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Um,
be, yeah, so because of all the run-ins I have on a daily basis,
Yeah, you like, I got to talk about this.
yeah.
I want to
well,
say
let
this
me
real
ask
quick.
you. Sorry, Reg. I just want to say from the moment Fringe said you got it to now, how long is that? And were you like, oh shit? And then you like, now I gotta get to work.
Well, yeah, well, they said yes. I got notified. I think I submitted in January. January, everything's a blur. So I
Okay.
think it was like somewhere around January, end of February, or
So a
January,
couple months, yeah,
early
okay.
February. I knew for sure.
Okay.
And then it was just like, oh, well, I was gonna do the show, but I was like, oh, I just want to get my show up. Like I've been thinking
Right.
about it for years. Like I put it down for years. Let's just do it. It's Fringe. Like it's open. Like you can just be one of the shows. And that's all I was thinking. I wasn't thinking about the scholarship, but that happened.
Right.
And now that it has, it's like, oh, like my show's one of the curated 15. Like
Wow.
I was like, this is going to be low pressure, but then all of a sudden it's like pressure. I
Yeah.
got pressure.
It'll
But
be
you know what
good though.
though?
They have faith in you. You have faith in yourself. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
gonna say sometimes it does take an outside force to make us kind of do the things that we've been thinking about doing, right? You just
Right.
need that little bit of push, right? And it's also a confirmation that you have something that's of value and
It
worth.
it feels wonderful to
Yeah,
be like it's an honor to be to be a recipient of like this level of support. Like I said, there are a few hundred shows in the festival. Like you, even if you wanted to see every show, you cannot. There's not
right.
enough hours in the day for one person to see every show. So to be chosen amongst like that 15, that curated group that they chose, that people talked about, like had arguments over a table about,
Yeah.
and I made it to the other side of that, like it's a privilege. I'm so fortunate and grateful for that.
That is huge. Um, I want to say this real quick before I forget, and this is just coming from a stand-up background of, headlining and
Okay.
having to sustain your personality or do your show for 45 to an hour. Um, I will say, if you can, as much as you can prior to that first show, run the set, even if it's just at your place by yourself. You got to run it because you want to hit your beats, right? Because when you get into the venue and then the lights and the people and someone does a thing, right? Like you just want to make sure that you have it so tight that you have your rhythm and your timing. Um,
I
and
Yeah.
yeah, and because nervousness will set in and you'll find
Uh-huh.
yourself, you might even find yourself in the middle of the show feeling like, wow, I'm going really fast right now. Okay, being conscious of your body, your heart rate, right? You may even come up with a blank every once in a while, like, oh shit, I
But the devil's advocate to that
right,
side is also don't over memorize. Just ride the
yeah,
ride, man. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
listen, I'm an actor. I'm a trained
Yeah, you know what
actor.
you're
Like I
doing.
grew up. It's not even about know what you're doing. That's when you get into trouble. When you start to
right.
be like,
Well,
I
yeah,
know.
it's like,
But
yeah,
like, but
the
it's like
mo-
it's the running, you got to get it in your muscle memory, like all of that happening. And that's the part where I'm like, "Ah, I just a little bit more time. I know I have been working on it, but I just need a little bit more time just like to feel like that I'm firm.
right,
So it's everything's kind of like it's going to come together. It will come together. It always
absolutely.
does. However, do I feel that today?
Well, you got time. You'll get there. You will get there. I'm telling you right now, this is your lived experience, right? You're just telling your story. So it's not like you have to remember your story because you're living it every day, right?
I know, but it's
So,
a theatrical
oh,
presentation,
absolutely,
which
absolutely.
means there's some things that need to be memorized and hit at
Right.
a certain
You'll
time.
you'll do it. I'm so excited for you. You're it's gonna be great and it's gonna be phenomenal. Um, I want to mention this too because you said something early. Um, I just came back from Atlanta and um, one of my best friends is an actor and I was on set and I ended up talking to another actor who's in that film and his name is Laith uh, Knockley. And yeah, Knockley. And he and I were talking about one man shows. And he's in the process of writing one. And I expressed that a friend of mine, this particular friend, had been telling me for years, based on my story, that I should do a one man show. And we started talking about the idea of trying to put something together, but also needing space and being able to talk about things that may be, really maybe tense for you, right? Really, really hard to talk about. And so we got into this discussion about being able to get to a place where you can talk about things and not be crippled by it, right? And so,
I've been running from this script for a very long time. And even in the presentation of it, getting the words out, it's like, do I even want to say that? Like, because like once you say things in public, then you got
it's
people, it's not yours anymore. And then any
right.
random person wants to cut. People already like randomly approach me in public. Like, do I want them knowing this personal thing to this like, hey,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
dangling it out there? It's like,
100%. That's what he and I talked about because he said the same thing. He said I started writing this, and then he said in the process of writing it, I realized that I wasn't able to tell the truth. I started making up and writing what I wanted it to be versus what it was. And I said the same thing about myself. I was like, I found myself at different times trying to talk about something and then realizing, oh wow, this still has a profound effect upon me. Like I can't even be completely honest I can't be completely honest with you because I can't even be completely honest with myself about it yet,
Yeah,
right?
I'm processing, yeah.
Processing. So how did you overcome that? Like, I know you stepped away and you took time, but how did you overcome that?
Yeah, well, I'm still overcoming
Mm,
it if I'm being like completely honest. Like I'm like, which is why I feel like, like I'm just not ready to go yet, you
all
know?
right. So
But
it's
it's
a
just it's you got to step away, you got to come back, but I decided that in last year sometime I was like, I'm gonna go for Fringe. Like I'm just gonna put it up and just if there's no pressure, just do it. Like you just do
mhm,
it. And you put a stake in the ground and then all of a sudden you have dates and deadlines and then you just have to do things. And then because you have to do them, you figure out how to do it. You like still keep your integrity, still keep your honesty. And this, if that's, if you can only share this much, then share that much fully.
mhm.
And then like you create that. What can I share? Share that, and then, perhaps in the future I'll put it up again. I think so. I think I would like to put this up again and then I'll, maybe I'll expand a little bit more. But for now, this time around, let's be kind and loving to ourselves. Like
Right,
I can
right,
do this much. I can do this much. I can share this much of the story and I'm okay sharing this much of the story. And for everyone that wants to just like come and approach and people aren't trying to be harmful.
right.
I'm the one that's putting it out there and begin it to begin with in the first place. So when they come back at me with this stuff, I have myself to thank for that.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like what do I, what am I comfortable sharing and what am I comfortable with people knowing and just being out there floating around,
Mm.
without me there to guide the conversation.
I think people are gonna be really supportive of you. And I think by
They
the end
are.
of this, yeah, and by the end of this run, I believe your show will be different from the opening night to the closing night, right? There will be a growth
Yeah,
and
it'll evolve
evolution.
along the way
It'll
too.
evolve.
It
And I think
happens.
this is just the beginning, right? Because after this, I think personally, this is my hope and what I feel is
Okay,
that
let's have it.
you're going to be on such a high, right? Because you will have set a goal, accomplished that goal, and then met the deadline and created something that's going to be received so well. And then internally, that growth and that feeling will be, oh, I can go further. Like that was just the beginning. Let's keep this going, right? Because the show will change and evolve, and your comfort level will grow, your confidence will grow, the show will evolve, and I think this could be the beginning of the next the next phase, the next step. Because ultimately your goal is to get to a point where you can have the assistance that you need to be able to live the way you want to live and get the help that you need. I think that this show is the beginning of that process to getting to that point, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, so it's all cosmic, baby. I'm telling you, it's
Here's
about
a
to happen.
here's another thing is like this is Hollywood Fringe. Like that's a very good credit. So now you could pretty much submit to any Fringe festival in the country, yeah, in the world probably. And I mean Hollywood Fringe is probably one of the most notable ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is self-produced, so
Okay.
that means self-funded kind of
Right.
thing. So like I can
Right.
apply all I want, but like do I have the
The
cash?
funds.
No, yeah. No, I
You
know that's the game,
get
baby. Showbiz.
well, then
His show,
that's
really.
where the GoFundMe comes in. It's like, help
But
me.
yeah, well
Help
then
me help you.
Yeah,
yes.
help me to get. And I think you're gonna end up in Edinburgh. I think it's gonna be Edinburgh, and then it's gonna be on HBO or it's gonna be on some platform. Like it's because it's there are so many women, based on the percentages and numbers that you've mentioned today, there are so many women who are experiencing this. Um, and I think you coming out and talking about it and sharing what your experience is and what it is for you, I think is going to be received with open arms because it's going to be a whole contingent of people. Half of the world at some point is going to go, this is what I'm glad somebody is talking about this because even with what you just said today, from the beginning of being able to address it medically and then having an event take place in your life and losing your job and losing your medical and then having to go 5 years without it and then another 5 years, like there was a lot of time where the system failed you because you weren't financially viable in a certain way for them, right? And that should never be the case, to the point that when you come back they then say, well, you waited too long. It's like, well, that's how does that work, right? Like I needed help and I didn't have the money, but you didn't help me. And so now when I'm in a position to help, then you go, I can't help you because you waited too long. Like
Where the system is set, I can see why people snap. Like it's just so set up against it.
Yeah,
exactly. It's
yeah.
like you're set up to fail. So I think you have a very unique story, and I'm super excited for you to share it. And I think that it's going to be phenomenal. And whatever you need to do between now and then, you will get that done, just like you have from the beginning when you submitted and then you were selected and then you had a date and a time and you put things together. You will continue to do that, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Well, thank you so much. I
There it
really
is.
You're
appreciate that.
welcome.
I've been wanting to do it for a long time. I'm glad that it's happening, and I'm grateful that it's happening in the way that it's happening because
Yes.
I do feel supported.
That's
Right.
a dope debut. I mean,
That
the
is.
Hollywood Fringe,
And did
come
you
on.
see like the artwork?
Yeah,
Like, can
yeah,
you
we're
talk
gonna
Yes.
share
about
it
the
one more time
artwork?
and give you the dates and stuff. But
Yo,
yeah,
the
who did
Because
this
artwork.
the
poster?
art the yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Her name is Julia. Like
Okay.
we met online in a class. We were in like a class for art, different kinds of artists, and she likes to do like her thing is like botanicals, and I just made a mental note of it. Like it was a couple of years ago when we had this class together, this workshop.
Yeah,
And
the
then when it
leaves are
came
good.
and then once I, decided that I wanted to do this, I was like, well, my story is kind of absurd, like how absurd it is to walk around this pregnant looking and not be actually pregnant. So so the thing that I thought would be really absurd was like, oh, like a pregnant pinup girl,
That's
So,
awesome.
so I was like, all right, I'll be a pregnant, but like that's absurd. And then she loved plants. So I was like, can you do something like that? And I was like an ode to old Hollywood kind of thing. Um, and this is what, she's like,
Here's
well,
the
you should do it.
shows. Friday, June 6th, Saturday, June 14th, Saturday, June 21st, Saturday, June 28th. They go with the Hollywood Fringe. They'll get tickets. She's about to pop. Hey, do you have these posters? You should sell these posters after the show.
Well, I have them as postcards.
Mm.
Postcards. They're 5x7 postcards. And I assume I'll have some left over. So,
You should sign them and sell
okay.
them.
Yeah, I
Take
think
that,
so.
take that dollar.
This the art is phenomenal. I mean, the title "She's About to Pop" is great, and then an immaculate misconception. I mean, come
Well,
on,
yeah,
like
and
it's
so
just
that came from like a casual conversation I was having with a friend. I was like, she's about to pop. I need a tagline. I'm not really thinking. So I was talking to my friend, like she was in the car with her husband. And so we've been friends for years. So like they know all of what's been happening. They've seen me up and down and whatever. And then he just was like, yeah, it's an immaculate misconception. I was like, what?
That's a
like
great
boom.
bit.
That's
That's a
it.
I
great
was like,
joke.
That's
that might be the
Great joke.
title. Like, what
Yeah,
is that? But it's like
that is yeah,
perfect
that's a great.
tagline.
Yeah,
perfect
great
tagline.
joke.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
Like I mean, honestly, I'm all Sal knows this, but I'm very much about energy and cosmic and the universe and things coming in and just fluidity, right? um I think that it's happening, and I think that you are in a place now. I think you're at the right time in your life for this to happen.
Yeah.
You know how it is sometimes. There are things that we want but we're just not ready for it, right? Personally.
I'm definitely the most of myself that I've ever been.
And that's beautiful.
Comfortable,
That's
most comfortable
beautiful.
in my skin that I've
Hmm.
ever been. Like when I was fit with my like abs of steel before, like I was still like wasn't comfortable. Like I was always like nitpicking and stuff. Now
Right.
it's just like, huh, this is me, take me as I am, like
Oh,
whatever.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I think that's, oh my goodness. See, this is another, okay.
No, he froze. Way to go,
Uh-oh.
Reg.
Okay. I'm a
Oh, that
cheerleader.
worked
I'm
for
heart.
me.
I am a cheerleader. I'm a
Carry
cheerleader at
on.
heart, right?
Okay.
Because that too, that's a part of this growth and evolution as we get older, right? We kind of let go of these, we shed all this stuff that the world puts on us to some degree, right? These expectations and what we must live up to and how we must be. We start to shed that, and really what it turns into is, excuse my language, is I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Right,
Not
right,
a
right.
flying
Right.
iota
Not a
of fuck.
flying iota of what
Yeah.
you think or how you feel. This is me. This is who I am, and this is what it's going to be. Which I think is another part of the beautiful part of this whole thing of like this evolution and growth and the full acceptance of self. Right?
I
Like
always
that's the
Oh
like the
yeah.
journey.
idea you just smile and nod and do whatever the fuck you were gonna do in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, our president's doing it, right? So we might as well. And it's sad, right? It is. It's sad. But that's really what he's doing. He's just like, I'm gonna do
Thanks
whatever I
for
want.
bringing that up, Reg.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
an all
Yeah.
right
Okay.
morning.
We'll cut that part out. Edit that part out, Sal.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to say, Charlie, before we let you go?
Just thank you guys so much
Thanks for coming back and asking. That was
I
nice.
What up,
mean, you guys
Sal?
turned around so fast. Like I was like, oh,
And I saw it's coming out soon. Like we got to promote it. This drops on Monday, so I was like, well, let's just do it. You know.
All right, well,
Sal,
cool.
let her finish.
I'm
Please,
sorry.
Charlene.
I'm just, Reggie's really bad at getting guests, so I'm so glad you came through for it.
That's funny. This is not about us, Charlene. This is all about you. Right? Look at you. Shots fired, right? But okay. No, please go ahead and say what you were saying.
No, I'm just really grateful to you guys. Thank you so much for helping. I had a wonderful time the first time, which is why like I circled back and I was like, well, like this is a crowd. It's probably, I mean, you're a couple of guys, like,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
is
but
and
yeah,
this is a very like feminine
yeah.
woman issue. But you have women in your life and the people that listen like have women in their lives that this is valid information, like very important things. So I just wanted to touch the crowd and
Right.
like this is I just really want to share my story and I hope that it helps. Yeah, I hope it reaches the people that it can be the most helpful to.
Mhm.
And just get the ball rolling on this. Like, yes, I want help, but also I want people to be aware that this is an
Yeah.
option. And I also want to push back on like the bozos.
Yeah.
Just push back on the bozos. Like this
Push
is a
back on the
plant. Like
bozos.
think about it. It's a plant that grows out of the dirt. Like what is all of this brouhaha
Yeah, you
nonsense?
hear that, Texas?
Right. Yeah, it's like, yo, we can do some things. And for the record, Sal and I, we embrace everybody, right? And we want to share everyone's story with as many people as we can. So um, I don't want to say the word ally, but I'm just like I love everybody, man. Like
Cohorts, comrades, just whatever,
comrades, yeah, exactly.
And we hate
You,
bullies. We like to
yeah, I can't
fuck.
stand bullies. My superhero complex comes out big time when bullies show up. I'm like, fight me, right?
Five cheap bullies.
But I think the beautiful part too about this whole thing is because as men we don't have that experience, right? And so hearing this and learning about this, like these numbers and what your experience has been, um, it enlightens us to be more sympathetic and empathetic to the
More
to
aware, more
more
aware.
just
Yeah.
more aware too, yeah, because I've known women throughout my life. I remember back in high school I had girlfriends or friends, friends that were girls that had really tough menstrual cycles, right? Like it was debilitating sometimes when they would not come to school. And so to hear that and then to hear that there's also something else that can be impacting that as well, like it gives you just better insight into what people are experiencing.
Yeah, I mean, just deal with some of the sensitivity. Like this isn't a dig at you guys, but like, you know, when a woman says like I can't do this today because I'm on my cycle,
Mhm.
the response isn't to roll your eyes and say, oh, well, that's a lovely excuse for you to want to get out of something that you don't want to do. And
Right.
sometimes guys say that. Like I know it's out
Mhm.
of ignorance, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm helping. Let's just
I'm trying to help the men out there, like, yo,
educate yourselves,
educate. It's
you
like, yeah, don't
know,
be a dick, dude. Just if I say, well, and you
because
know what
the
else?
rage that will come out of that, because like when she's already not feeling good, and then you say something like that, like the rage is intense.
Right.
So just like help me help you out in your situation.
Okay, so I'm going to speak to something else really quickly in regards to Black women and the medical system. And it's been well documented that the tolerance level, doctors do not believe when Black women, especially their levels of pain, right? They always underscore it. So to have a woman come forward and say, hey, look, I can't do this, like this feels too much, and to have men go, oh, that's a good excuse, that is completely disregarding what your experience is for your level of pain, right?
Yeah,
Like
and I have been dismissed by doctors.
that's what I mean, dismissed. I'm sorry. Yes. Um,
Yeah,
so I mean, this is huge because it speaks to a lot of different things on a lot of different levels. where people will not respect your opinion or dismiss your pain, your tolerance. They think
My
it's
lived experience, like just like, oh no, that's not true. I said, but this is happening right now. This is what this is. That's not true. You
Yes.
I had someone tell me, a doctor,
mm,
tell me that he said that, oh, I can see that you're getting smaller, but that could be weight loss and the placebo effect. Like you want to believe it, so like it's happening. I was like, well, even if it is a placebo effect, don't you want to know how
yeah,
that's happening? Like
exactly.
what am I
Wow.
listening? Like, why are you in that chair wearing a white coat of authority talking nonsense like that? Like,
Yeah, I was with the
Okay.
doctor one time. He pulled out the computer and started Googling shit. I was like, the fuck? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
went to school
So
for
Man,
this shit.
yeah,
see,
so
that's a oh, see, and that's another thing. Look, okay, I could keep going with this
Yeah,
because
you can.
I could, because that's I think that speaks to why people in our country, I think a lot of people become doctors because they want to make money, not because they actually want to help people. And I think that's a problem that causes a disconnect between the
Oh,
patient and the doctor,
you mean
right?
like people who become cops, they don't want to just help people?
Yo, straight up, man. I mean, because in other countries, doctors don't get paid as much as they do over here,
Yeah.
right? So if they're,
it's a power play. It's
it's a
like
power play.
more about subjugation, control. It's
Exact.
not
And to hit
necessarily
you with the
about
placebo effect, are you serious? It's like you
Oh,
better be
that's
glad I'm
ridiculous.
educated because somebody else could be like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know what that is, but maybe
Yeah,
that's what,
right, right.
right?
But
It's
I was curious.
education.
I mean, but I was just like, well, even if it is the placebo effect, for argument's sake, like, well, aren't you curious? Like,
Right.
I could actually think my tumors away. Like, let's
Yeah,
talk about that.
yeah,
Yeah. If that's the case, then let's spread the word.
Yeah.
Everybody,
yeah.
let's start thinking. All right. I'm gonna stop here. I was just saying, because I'll keep going because it's so layered, and I think there's so much to it, right? That's why I really believe in this show. So I'm gonna say to all of our listeners and watchers and everyone out there, please, if you're in Los Angeles or LA, go see
She's
She's About
about
to
to pop.
Pop by Charlene Modeste.
Yes.
The Immaculate Misconception.
Good one. Good line.
Yes. Go out.
And
Dates
I'll,
are dates are on the poster. Sal just listed them.
yeah, we'll
And
post it all up.
yeah, we'll post it again. And go out and get your mind blown and then donate to the cause. Let's get it
And
popping.
I just hope, Charlene, when Netflix picks this up for a TV show, you're willing to come back and do the podcast then. Because,
Always, always,
yeah,
always.
some people blow up and they don't come by anymore. So,
Sa-
we love it.
Sal, you're so funny. Sal's like, yeah, go do your thing and then come back to
But don't
us.
forget us now. Don't be like, hey, I got, 2 Oscars and I don't need to do the
And
podcast.
look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say when you do Netflix, I would appreciate if you came back, but if you got bigger and better podcasts to
Well,
do,
this is the podcast. You
I
better
would
not
be like,
Joe
Charlene,
Rogan because
go do your thing. And I'd be like, go do your thing. We'll be here. Come back later, right?
Guys, thank you so
So,
much
all
for
right,
doing
thank you,
that. Thank you,
Charlie.
guys.
yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. We appreciate you.
All
Good
right.
luck. Break a
Yeah,
leg, break both
break
legs,
all the
break all the
legs.
legs.
Thank
So
you so much. It was really great hanging with you guys again. It's always
Always.
fun.
awesome. Thank you. Same
Yeah.
here. Have a great day.
All right,
Bye.
Bye.
ciao. All right, there it is, Reg. There
There
it
it
is.
is.
There
Man,
it is.
dude, I'm excited about her
Look at
show.
it.
I wish I could see it. I want to go see it.
Oh, you could. LA is only a 6 hour drive, a 1 hour flight. You could come on down. You got a friend here. You could stay on the couch with me and Joey J.
Yes, I'm gonna stay on your cat fur infested couch and
You'll be
not able to
sneezing.
breathe. Although I gotta admit that cat, like the fact that you're able to just do a cat like that and he's just all into it. He's up for it.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah, he's like, oh look,
So you'll
wow.
put up, you'll risk your sinuses for this.
I'm gonna have to say no. I mean, I have to take a bunch of Claritin. I have to take a bunch of Claritin. Then I'm like this, getting the hair off of me because it is my clothes. I'm like,
You like the Monet here, dude? You like my little Claude Monet?
I like the Monet.
1880, dude. Look at that thing.
Wow,
Yeah.
1880.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, no pictures, so the images were caught with paint strokes.
Yeah,
right?
just sitting there like,
Yeah, like creating, like showing us. We're looking at an image that existed however many years ago that
Yeah.
probably that doesn't exist now, right? It's like time travel. It's like going back
Yeah,
in
man.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a trip.
Man, shout out to Charlene, man. That was
Yeah, good
really
show. That's cool. She won that award. Be doing it. Yeah, and Hollywood Fringe was a great credit. So way to go.
yeah. And everything that I said to her, I truly believe. I believe because this is the first run of the show, right?
Right.
And you know how it is. By the end of
Yeah,
the
it just gets
week,
stronger. I mean, people have
ex-
been doing, some people do one person shows for years.
exactly.
Ryan Copeland's up there, ran for fucking years.
Yeah. So I think she could I think this could actually she'll do these four and it's gonna be like, oh, that's not enough. Like, let's
Right.
run it
Oh,
back.
yeah,
Like, let's get
yeah,
another
yeah,
theater and let's
yeah.
do it again, have another running, and it'll start to evolve. Because right now she's like 45 to an hour, basically. It will turn into probably an hour, 15, hour and 20. And it could turn into uh I won't say a 2 hour show, but maybe a hour 45 with the
Yeah, an hour and
intermission.
some change.
Yeah, with an intermission if she wants to go a little bit longer.
Hey, I'm gonna
Uh,
go look for I'm gonna grab my Black Panther for you.
it's I think Sal's wearing shorts, you guys. He just got up and it was almost an indecent exposure with his little shorts on. He had a little booty, coochie cutter shorts. I don't know if you guys know that term. That's an old school down south coochie cutters. It's like it's so high when a girl wears like girl
Yo,
that thing.
Reggie wanted that indecent exposure.
They
I can't.
cut.
Let me find my purple poster.
Okay. For the record, I did not want that indecent exposure. Not even a little bit. Seeing his upper thigh made me uncomfortable. I was like, ugh. I'm like, this dude needs sun. Got to get you some Speedos and go out into the sun and lay out.
Man, I've been getting a nice
Um,
tan. What are you talking about? I got a nice tan cooking. All right, here.
I'm talking about your shorts are so short, there's your upper thigh. Oh, we can't see it right now. Whoa.
Ah, look at that.
Wow. I love the purple frame. I wouldn't have thought
Yeah,
about that.
dog. I saw the purple frame and I'm like, I gotta get
Where
this
did you get it done?
online. I just bought it online.
So, okay, what size frame did you get? Can you send me that information?
Yeah, I don't know. Just measure your thing, dude.
Dude, just send me just measure your, normally
Where's the sign number?
it's on the very bottom left corner, and then there's a signature.
Man, it ain't nothing on mine.
Oh, well,
Prototype. I got the first one.
I don't know about that, but I will say that mine says 6 of 6, first print, Matt Morales. See here, look at the bottom.
Yeah, see, mine must just be an original.
And then right here, we got the signature. Let me see if I can get it back far enough where you can see it actually. Oh, there it is. See, look, Sal, with the signature, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
then right here, 6 of 6, first print. Shout out to my man Matt. Dude, all right, I'm getting the purple frame.
Oh wait, here. Oh no, there is a signature. Hold on. What the?
You
Wait,
got on your
there it is. Oh, hey, here it is. Number 1 of 1. Sal, you're better than Reggie in every way. Wow, dude, that's amazing of Matt to write all that for me.
shout out to Matt Morales for keeping it real. Uh, all right, man. That's it. That's what I'm doing. So, hey guys, everyone out there, next time you see my print of the Black Panther, it will be in a purple frame with a white mat.
Yeah, look at
'Cause
that. I got a white man. See, I class it up. You got
yo,
that
it's nice.
fucking, it looks like some kid printed that off a printer over there.
Yo, my joint is nice, man. I'm gonna put it back in plastic. I just wanted to bring it out for today, but
All
yeah,
right,
I'll be
Reg,
wearing that.
close this out, dude.
Okay. All right, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I want to shout out and say thank you to our guest, Charlene Modeste, whose show will be running every weekend in June at the Hudson Theater. So please go check that out. She brought a lot of information today. She shared a lot about her show. I think it's going to be phenomenal. So if you're in that area, please go check it out. Show some support. With that being said, we love doing this and we're going to keep doing it. That's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin'. Peace.